Very good evening to all of you. Welcome to day 2 of our workshop, and we will continue with our prompt engineering. If anyone has any doubt or any concerns about yesterday's turn, they can ask me in 1 or 2 minutes. Else, we will start the remaining prompt patterns that I want to discuss. I hope every with the YouTube playlist link I have given, so it will avoid me the hassle or spamming the WhatsApp group again and again that this is a video. So whenever you click that playlist link, the next day you will find the updated playlist automatically. Agenda that I will follow for the day is based on the outline that I have shared while I was marketing this workshop. Based on the outline that I have shared, I will be covering those prompt patterns first, and one or two more I will try to cover. And if time remains today, then I will go into the other ones which are there in the paper. And but if time doesn't permit, these are the ones which I will demonstrate it in parallel, like the yesterday that we were doing hands-on practice for all the patterns that are mentioned over here. So let us begin because today will be slightly hectic day. Uh-huh. So we have covered persona pattern, few shots, and template pattern. The next in line was the context manager pattern. So those who have read the description and those who are reading in parallel, the context manager pattern, what it does is you tell what is the setting, like what is the scenario in which the responses should come. Okay? So you tell that, the example that I have brought that is there on your screen right now, also on the right hand side, what this example is going to do is it is just going to tell GPT that the context of all the queries that I will be asking or that you need to answer me are should be in the language in which the healthcare professionals from marketing class can understand. So I'm telling that who am I? If you read this text, that let me slightly zoom it so that it's slightly easier for those who are using a small screen. I'm reading over here. I've intentionally cut this right now because it is just like mixing the two patterns. But for now, the context is this much. The first line, I could have deleted it. I didn't want to delete it because I was doing yesterday also. I tried to mix the pattern in one go because in the previous workshops it was day 3, but since I was mixing it already, I showed you one example yesterday. So I've kept it, but for now I have just spiked it out. Basically, it is what is happening is I'm going mixing persona pattern and the context manager pattern. The striked out line was telling GPT to behave as my teaching assistant, and who am I? That the line follows that I am a marketing professor. His college name is not important, but still, if understand, it's fine. That I am a marketing professor, and my students are doing a course in foundational marketing, so on and so forth. That students in my class have a background in healthcare. They are doctors with at least 5 years of work ex, and some other nurses, paramedics are there. Then I say from now on, whenever I ask to explain something, answer so that it is in the context of my students. So this was the context I am asking GPT to understand. And just let me get this presentation. Oops, this presentation is not running. So meanwhile, just copy paste it. If you want to change, like from marketing, whatever background you have, you are any professional you have, I will just restarting the presentation. Meanwhile, just copy paste it in your GPT, this prompt from your example file. If you are not seeing it, what you just need to do is download the file again, because I updated some new prompts that I wanted to use today. So it may happen that this may not be visible. So I would request you just go to the drive folder and download this docs file once more. Meanwhile, I will just open this presentation again.
Professor, are you updating the file name?
File name is there. I'm not updating. I'm just opening the presentation. It was not opening. Image was not coming. I want to have the presentation. File is the same docs. You just need to download it again because this text I've added today. It means
Okay.
this file it will not shrink. So, context manager pattern, setting boundaries. So while I'm telling that these are my boundaries, that within this scope, which you can further refine it, that only answer these things, ignore other things. But at the very basic level, context manager makes GPT aware that your answers have to be bound within this context. These are the blueprint that in case you want to make it more enhanced, your prompt more refined. You can also say, do not answer me in those. There's a negative prompting that is a word called ignore Z. So if you do not want some things to come, you specifically mention that, please ignore this.
Sir, Achin sir, in your
Yeah,
prompt there is a word called workx. Is it deliberate or instead
it's
of work
perfect.
experience you have given workx?
That is a common short form we use. So GPT is trained with the common language. So it is
Okay,
not
okay.
mandatory to write elaborate.
Okay. It is. That's why I just wanted to ask you that question.
Because as you understood that work is meaning work experience, and so GPT has been trained with so much data that it understands that this small work is not an error. It intentionally written over. The work
That's
is at
what.
least 5 years.
That's what. Is it deliberate? That was my
Yeah.
question.
So I will not be copying the script out part. I will just copying this much, and I'm going to execute. So whatever thinking it's trying to do, that's fine. Okay. So it has generated by some text by default without waiting for my instructions. But let us if you see, so it has even explained to me what is marketing, and if whichever prompt you are using, it will change from marketing to your context, that is totally fine. But now you see that, as I was explaining yesterday, that for doctors I cannot say that to creating value for customers, I want to have creating value for patients. So ignoring this, I simply ask me explain what is marketing. It may have given me, but okay, now you see somewhere it will come healthcare. Yeah. It's building me too much text today. Now you see over here, when it starts to explain the words, you will see in healthcare, it could be a service like a telehealth or medical service. Price also, it will start using the words like patients, perceptions, cost, and whatever examples it is trying to develop. Physical locations, and if I have not told that it's my healthcare context, it would have used any example. But right now, because I have told that within this healthcare context, it is using examples like hospitals or clinics, so and so forth. Promotions also persuade patients, not persuade customers. Though customers and patients are synonyms in our understanding, but GPT is making it very clear that because I've given it a healthcare context, so those words are getting adapted to the best extent possible to the healthcare context. And similarly, whatever prompt you have changed, in case you have changed it to your area, it will have adapted to it. Your full freedom to tweak this prompt in the context you want to do. Full freedom. And if you have any doubt, just let me know. This is what you are seeing over here is the original 4 or 5 lines that I every time whenever I'm making any slides, I'm making any questionnaire, if I'm making any exam, I just copy paste it. I mean, I do not write this this exact line whenever I ask to explain something. It is just like I ask whenever I give you a task, execute a task that is relevant to the healthcare. So whichever MCQs are generated, let me show you. So just give me a moment. So these MCQs that you're seeing, so as part of the exercise, the students want uh, MCQ based evaluation is there to 20%. So these MCQs are generated using GPT only, right? You are saying I generated this. What I have done is, well, I was when I need to generate, what I do is I give these 4 5 lines, and then I say the task is I'm giving you the PPT that I have used in my class, and based on the PPT, generate 10 MCQ questions. So because it understands, PPT doesn't has much of the healthcare world. It has the normal, the first cut that Kotler books give. So it doesn't have. But once I've updated the context, so then it starts to use for this particular chapter whatever the questions it generated. Every question is in healthcare marketing, healthcare context, so and so forth. Some pharmaceutical hospital world, as you can see across the screen, it will get automatically adapted. So this is in real world. It helps a lot rather than changing the text language by yourself. Later, you just specify the context, whichever questions you generate, whichever assignments you generate, will automatically have wordings which are suitable for your students or your clients in case you are using in some other context. It becomes a task becomes very easy. Our efficiency gets increased. That's why learning this context manager pattern, wording is not necessary, just understanding what we are doing over here. We are just telling what the scenario is. That's it. And again, remember, because the scenario has been set, you have to start a new chat. If you have to come out of this, if the this healthcare mentality of whichever frame of reference we have given, if you want to come out of it, you have to say start a new chat. Then only this thing will be get undone. Back to the GPT. If there is any doubt, means you can ask on the mic or chat. Both are accessible to me. No doubt. Okay. So I move to the next in line. The PPT will not follow this order, but what I'm going to, as explain, the next in line that I promise you to deliver it to you is flip interaction pattern. This is the pattern that helps you lot immensely if you are not clear what is the correct prompt to give. This is this pattern, flip interaction, and there is a context verifier. These are a couple of patterns. As I explained, you will understand how, without knowing the prompt, without writing the prompt correctly, even you can have a conversation before the task is executed to give you a better prompt. The problem which occurs with generative AI, as I've been telling yesterday also, it will give you an answer. It is not going to ask you back. This is the first time we will see that it can ask you back. So asking it back allows GPT. So GPT will may have a doubt. Okay, I may need this information, but it cannot ask. And you will also not know. You will assume that this information is good enough to, and GPT should have worked, and why it is not working. So flip interaction pattern does what does it that you tell the goal. You tell the goal to that GPT that this I want to do this task. And then you can say, ask me enough questions or ask me these limited number of questions. See, if you ask me enough questions, it is very good, but you need to have patience. It can ask you no question. It can ask you 4 questions. It can ask you 40 questions. It depends upon the task. So if you read the example, but I will explain it as with the example is going. So you see the first statement that I have written is a goal. Some people can write more refined goal, totally acceptable. The more refined goal you write, the more, sorry, the lesser number of questions it will ask you. But right now, you see in the flip interaction example, the first line is the goal. I want you to write, sorry, so spelling error. I want you to write, it hardly matters, it will understand. I want you to write an article for me. So this was a goal. Right now, I have not told what is the title of the article, on which background, how many word limit is there. So many things you may think that this prompt is missing. Yeah, intentionally it is missing, but the first line is telling the goal. This is the goal. Now Ask me one question at a time till you have enough information. Then write the article for me. So what is going to happen is that some people may ask, this is the most common thing that I'm getting asked, why am I writing this thing? Ask me one question at a time. Answer to this is why have written that ask me one question at a time, because when we are answering, it's a conversation, right? So when we answer it, we may intentionally answer something which was also a part of its doubt. If you do not write, if you just write, ask me enough questions, it will give you a lengthy list of questions. It's maybe let us say 7 to 8 questions. Then anyone could answer one, answer two, answer seven, answer eight. But then question answer is not adaptive. And then you have to take pain to answer all the 8 questions. And also it can happen in between by mistake if you execute it. If you execute the prompt, it will not ask the remaining questions. Suppose it gave you 8 questions, something happened and you were answering till number 4. And then somehow what enter got pressed. And those 4 answers went, 5, 6, 7, 8 answer didn't go. Till the model, to the best of my knowledge, sometimes it happens now that what I say, it does the opposite. But to the best of my knowledge, let us say to the last week, if you say give the 4 answers, it will think, okay, this is the maximum I could get out from the user, and I should now execute the task. That's one problem. And second problem that I already discussed, that because you will not stop. Sometimes you answer more than what was needed, and that more could have answered some future question. So if you say ask me one question at a time, and if it gets the information which you're seeking for some other question, it will not ask you that question back. Okay. So that is the reason we write ask me one question at a time. Also, it is easy for you also to be on time. Like, this is a question, this is my answer, execute. What is the next question? It becomes a conversation. You do not get bored, because once you have not written a limit to add, rather than asking one question at a time till you have enough question, you can ask me miss X number of questions. X is what you want to answer. Suppose you do not want to answer more than 3 questions, more than 5 questions, and you say, I will answer just 3 questions. Still, you ask me one at a time, but max 3 questions, and you can still ask me these many questions. The risk is that in 3 questions, maybe all the information is not collected, but the benefit is after 3 prompts, it will get executed. The prompt will get executed. It will not keep on asking you. So I told you both the sides. Now you can change whatever agenda you have for the day. Yeah. I will use, okay, I will show you this, then I will do the other one. So I'm just copying it, because this is kind of important. It looks easy, but these are small things that helps our interaction. Whatever field you are. But in case you are not sure, you tell that this is the task. Now you can ask me back. I do not know much about it. So I can, at least I will know the content I will write. So I will say that I want you to write an article for me on the topic. Let us say digital digital marketing in 2025. Okay. Apart from this, I have not mentioned anything. And as people have a time limitation, then I will just write. Ask me 3 questions. Ask me 3 questions, one question at a time till you have enough information. Because I need to delete this also, because it will I have to stop the counter. Ask me 3 questions, one question at a time, then write the article for me. And once I execute it, so one thing, it can happen that I'm giving you a disclaimer, because I have not changed the new chat. So it can happen, it can pick the healthcare context. I'm giving a disclaimer over here, right now, that when I am doing right now, I forgot to start a new chat. If you're not done, you can start a new chat. But right now, it is somewhat likely, there is a somewhat probability that the article that gets generated will have a flavor of healthcare. Without even, if I do not answer it any questions in healthcare right now, but in the previous chat, it is continuing. It may learn from that chat. So absolutely, let's start the first question. It says that what specific aspects of digital marketing you are most interested in? For example, trends, technology, strategies. So I will just because I will be quick, so I will just write. I will just copy something from here as an answer. This is the first It has gone. Okay, great choice. One thing more, GPT is always supportive. Any model you use, it will always say great choice, excellent choice, well done. It is always has a positive tone for you. So it may be a great choice, it may not be a great choice because it wants to keep the conversation going with you in an interesting manner. It will say. So chain of thought is you are asking it step by step process. It is not a step by step process. That what how you reasoned out. I hid it. What was happening is that chain of thought is this. By mistake, I kept this thinking kept open. That's why I needed to close it so that the person do not get confused. Right now, it has stopped generating the chain of thought. In case you are stuck over there, this was chain of thought. I do not want to go into that right now. I will come to it, but let me do the easy one first. It's not chain of thought. So chain of thought is sequence step by step thinking process. And again, coming back. So the second
Sir,
question is
one
how?
minute. So
Yeah.
flipped interaction can culminate into chain of thought?
No. Active interaction. It is asking questions back. It is not reasoning. Chain of thought is once you generated the answer. See, I will just do the chain of thought. Just let me complete, and within this question only, I will give you the chain of thought. Okay, just a moment. Just let me complete this task. Within frame interaction only, I will solve it. Are there any specific industry sectors should I focus on the content digital marketing? Let us say cinema and entertainment industry. Entertainment. Just giving one word answer, so I want to get this task over quickly. What is the desired length of article? I will say just 200 words because I want to keep it brief. So I have not supplied many information. Somebody can say you're not told entertainment industry of which continent, which place, this and that. Yes, I agree. Okay. So this is also a negative side that when you specify X number of questions, don't be very terse while answering. Be as expressive as you can because I wanted to just show how this thing works. I have given very small examples, done a very copycat paste. But once it has started asking, the more expressive you are, the more clear you are in your responses, the more verbose. This is one of the places when you are rewarded to speak more. To be truly saying, you are rewarded to speak more. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you write, and this is the article. So we do not need to read the article, but those who are trying to do, I'm just giving you a minute. Whichever article or whichever exercise you want to do, please do get a hold of it. Those who are worried about chain of thought, I will just show you that. I've asked him what was chain of thought. What were you thinking while you have written this article? That is chain of thought. Right now, this is not chain of thought. It is a one-way, two-way interaction. It's two-way interaction because it is asking question, I'm answering, and based on my response, it is developing a follow-up question. Right now, it may not look follow-up questions because I've limited it to three questions, so it's tried to get more diverse. But in case you give it a free hand, ask me as many questions as you want, then you will see that there's a dialogue getting generated. So this is the breakdown of my thought process, and then it has printed it. And those who are using either means those who have access to, I'm not saying if you in your this reasoning thinking models, any thinking model if you have access to, think Claude, think this and that. Then what is going to happen is without your permission, it will start printing this text thought process. Because I was doing some task in the morning, I needed a thought process to show me. It always helps if you have some time to see how this prompt worked, and you can only understand how that prompt is working behind the scene if you see that thought process. So I like to learn by this way what I did right, what I did wrong. But that is what if you do not have pro model, no issues. You can simply ask, like I have done right now, what was your chain of thought in generating this response? I hope Vivek ji and Purnendu ji both have understood that what's the difference between flipped and chain of thought, as you were asking.
So, can I request you to repeat, sir? Yeah. I
Repeat.
like flipped in. I like the essence is I've understood, but why should we know the thought process?
Chain of thought process, if you are very curious enough, what logic, sometimes it happens, you say it hallucinated. So if you want to know why it hallucinated, then the chain of thought process helps you. Why this response was generated? That is the chain of thought. Then that's a follow-up learning. It will say that I assumed this, I assumed that. Then you will understand, okay, this is the, because based on this prompt, these were the assumptions and on based on which this response is getting generated. So it is like, if the exam is tomorrow, you will just read the paper summary, chapter summary, then attend the exam. But if you know that exam is, let us say, after 6 months, and if you are a sincere student, you will like to read line by line slowly, so you improve. The skills will get improved. So that point in time, chain of thought helps. So chain of thought is like knowing behind the scenes. Like yesterday's example, it's no neural network between the two of us. Like two of us, me and GPT. So this is the text in which it can think. It's thinking and letting us know that this is what I was thinking while I was generating a response for you. While field interaction is, I give a goal that this is a goal, execute this task. And I do not know much more about this task, but I tell you the broad goal. This I want to do. Now you can ask me some questions and we will execute it. So I will do one more example of this, but I will, let me just, I have to tell you something in your chat GPT. What you need to do before you do this task. I will sit and take your questions. I want you to practice it yourself. Just give me a second. So this is your GPT screen that will be coming. Now, what you have to do is, at one point in time, create an image which you just execute it. Keep it, this option that you have, right? This option will be there. Create an image. Okay. Now, what you need to do is, you see within question refinement, I'm not explaining question refinement. I'm using this same example for a flipped interaction. What you say is, I want an image of a mountain. Right now, if you do not do anything and just copy, paste, and enter it, some image of mountain will come. But you may have some vision of a mountain or you want it to ask you questions. So what I need you to do is mix these two. Replace this over here. I want an image of a mountain. Ask me X number of questions, one question at a time, till you have enough information. Rather than write the article, what you write, then write the, I will just copy paste it for you in the chat. Just give me a moment so that you have the complete prompt and then you can play with it. If you have information, then write the prompt for me, generate the image. So I'm pasting it on your chat screen. I want an image of a mountain. Ask me X number. X number of questions. It's up to you to fill it. You have seen what I have done. So it's up to you how you want to, how many questions you want to ask, or if you want to answer as many questions. But the task is, you have just told that I want an image of a mountain. The goal is there, but mountain, and now you want to have a night view, day view, snow chahiye, nahi chahiye, tree, this and that. So depending upon, either you give it a free hand or you give some limitation, practice it and also generate the image. It will be very interesting for you to learn. Please remember, just keep this, create an image on. Those were just seeing on my screen. Now you see it has asked me and night, day, and all, but I am saying night with full moon. It has not asked me that. But my interest is I want to have my vision is to have a mountain that has a full moon. Somehow I want that. That is my vision. So I specified night with a full. Now it is asking me some cabin, wildfire, this and that, northern lights. Okay. So totally random. River and northern lights.
So why exactly it is called flipped interaction? Can we say it like an interaction?
No, no,
Just
no.
why flipped?
Flipped interaction because before this, every time I was asking the question, it was giving me the answer. Flipped interaction means now I've given the power flipped. You ask, I answer, and then execute the task. That is the main sort of flipped. Like in the time I was asking or I was just questioning it, it was giving me responses. Right now I say this is a task. Now you question me whatever information you need and execute the task.
So just one generic question. Means all these terminologies are like you have created it or it's like somewhere given as a standard
So if you
terminologies.
you just go to any prompting guide, you will find all these things. Any prompting guide, you just Google Gemini prompting guide, you will find these terms. Whatever terms I'm using, it's not fancy or my vision. मेरा कोई vision नहीं है.
So it's been
है
taken
ना?
from Google means Gemini and all.
You just go to YouTube, right? Meanwhile, those who are doing, I'm answering this question. Uh, Meanwhile, I answer. Those who are doing this task, please continue this task till the image comes. What was that? So something is will be there. That's why it has come to me in filling it, right? Uh, Now you see prompt engineering via prompt pattern, flip retraction pattern, blah blah. Every there it will flip retraction pattern. So it is not something that I have created from my mind. It is there in the standard text. It is
So
like
that means they have taken it from Google or means from where they taken this document.
they have. So this is like what I should say. This is like that you can assume that's the name of a package that you can say. Though only the language matters, but for our conversation to tell you that it's a flip interact, the language, what that you need to write is less like a keyword for our mind. That if we want to have a flip interaction, we say this. So this is like you can say that the encyclopedia or that kind of stuff you can assume that those who were writing or developing these LLMs have named this nomenclature. No, at least whichever prompts that I have brought you as promised, no prompt is my fancy creation. You will find hundreds of video on the net, hundreds of Google it. Your page will be filled. Wikipedia पे भी
Okay.
मिलेगा.
Because I have seen one of the documentation from the Google also from Google Gemini. So that's
Mhm.
why I was asking whether
So
these
that
have
is
been
what I'm
taken
telling,
from
right? So
there.
nothing is my fancy. Don't think
Yes.
that you have given me that some
You have published a paper, right? So that's why I was asking that whether you have given some name to it.
all at they're all referenced. That's not a
Got
published,
it.
the work in progress. But right now, those have completed a task or those who are seeing. So now the image is generated as the view I wanted to have, or close enough with northern lights, full moon, mountain is there, some river is there, this and that, and whatever how the way you have answered it. This is one of the ways to generate the test because it is difficult for us to tell everything in one go. It's better to give the power, let it ask and generate the image. Sometimes it may ask, it will not exceed the number of questions you specify, but it may ask lesser number of questions if it thinks that this much information is enough for me.
So
This is one
sometimes
thing.
it says for right now it is telling me that a lot of people are generating image. He will notify.
So maybe the free version is having some load. You can just refresh it or do something, but I demonstrated it to you on your software so that you can see. I could have used my software also. But then the quality would have changed because then people will say it's not coming for us because my model allows me to have low, medium, and high quality images. Then finishing will differ. That's why I used the free version to show. This is what's the same discussion I used yesterday, right? Whichever car suits your purposes, buy that car. Don't go for the fancy model just for the sake that it exists. Okay, so this was a flip interaction pattern. I move ahead. There's a question refinement pattern. Okay. So question refinement pattern is what that you tell you do not want to answer, but you also at the same time know uh, that my prompt is not complete. I may be missing something. GPT has read so much that it knows that if the thing is in this domain, these generally people like to have these X or let us say 4 or 5 other text or prompt that to be added. So what I simply mean to say, suppose your you just supplied this much, but because so many people have said that you are a marketing, you take a role of a professor, those people have added this much text also, but you were not able to add. Question refinement patterns helps you. You do not want to answer also, but at the same time, you want your prompt to improve also. So I will show you this. The same example. Okay. What is happening is I will not answer anything. Let me start a new chat so let us be comfortable. I I will give a goal. I want a image of a mountain. Refine this prompt. What will happen is those people who have used the starting line that I want an image of a mountain generally on a overall basis have added these kind of stuff that create an image of a mountain range during sunrise. The scene should have so and so forth. This is the refined prompt. Whatever above and above is different. It has expanded my prompt based on the knowledge it has gained over the period of its training from all those people who have tried generating an image of a mountain. If you like this, good. If you do not like this, you are free to modify. But please remember, if you refresh it, you ask it to generate it once more, then the response will not be exactly the same. Okay. So this was a response. But if I say, yes, so here, the interface is again changed. So I will just rerun it over here. Regenerate response slightly. So yeah, just let me remove this. The response will vary even within the same chat. I've rerun the same prompt. I didn't change anything. I wrote the same thing. You see that this was the previous one, create an image of majestic mountain range during sunrise. But when I reran, it started say generate an image of a towering mountain peak surrounded by a lush valley. So the responses will differ. Even if within the same chat, if you're trying to refresh, okay, here's the refresh now. If I again do it, regenerate response, the third time will be something more different. But ballpark, it will try to remain the same, that it will not make a mountain as a desert. But line by line, it will not be the same. But this is the one other way that if you are lazy or you have no idea, miss, if you, this question refinement pattern works best when you are not even capable enough to answer what the questions. Miss, you cannot. You think that I will not be able to answer the questions. It will go towards me, and you want to have a generic answer. So you can do. The beauty is that it reduces the, let us say, arbitrariness. If you just write image of a mountain and execute, some image will come for sure. But once you execute this, if you copy paste it and go to the image and press enter, it will follow these words, and the image will be close approximation to the text that you have supplied. Versus a generic line, give me an image of a mountain. Some image will come, but that will not be a very close approximation. Mountain will be there, but everything else will be totally probabilistically generated in a random manner.
So how
Seed
much
value.
time? So how much
Seed
time
value
does
sir
it?
coding में होगा. Tomorrow you can ask Rafe sir. Seed value that will help you over there. इसमें seed value how do you fix?
So if you are going to fix the seed value, the same output will be again and again. I've tried it in Google Gemini and put the first seed
Right
value
now
as
you
like
tell me in the
42.
free version. Right now how can I fix the seed value over here? What I should do? I don't know. You
I
tell
have,
me sir.
no, I haven't used it with that of ChatGPT. I've used it with that Google Gemini and put the seed value as 42. and again ask it to
Are you, sir, you
create
doing data analysis task or are you doing a prompt task? Data
any
analysis.
article that you want, right? Suppose you say that write the history of India, and then you fix the seed value to that of 42. Again, if you give the prompt that write the
Maybe, sir.
history of India with the seed value, it will give you the same answer again.
I've done it in R programming, but I'm not sure if it can be done. I will try and let you know tomorrow because I do not want to waste time in that
Yeah,
in case it doesn't
yeah.
work.
Even in Python, if you fix the seed value, it always takes the
That I
same
know.
data.
That I
So
know.
here
That
also
I
it is
know. In
going to,
programming, I
yes.
know. That I know. Python R programming, I know. That I know. Set seed
So
is equal to this. I know
same
that.
thing, same thing, same thing. It happens in prompting also. That's what I'm saying.
What do you mean to say, sir? Let me know. This enough. Let seed equal to 1. No, sir. क्या हुआ नहीं हुआ सर
No, chat GPT, I don't know, but if you put it in
Sir,
the
please
gen,
let us move ahead. In that case, it will be an issue. If you support something, let me, because I do not know, and
I'll
the
share the
people may
screenshot.
think,
I'll
no,
I'll,
sir,
I'll
not
share
right
this.
now, not right now. That is outside
No,
the
not
purview of the
not
workshop.
right now.
Please, sir, there was some other doubt. Please come forward. There was some other doubt. Somebody, female voice I heard in between.
Sir, I was trying in chat. I actually have a paid version of Chatbot app, which has other tools also inbuilt tools like Gemini and
Okay.
all that. I have put it
Mhm.
in the same prompt which you were showing. I had put the same
Mhm.
prompts, but it shows that it doesn't have a capability to directly generate an image. So it is suggesting me
Ma'am,
to use.
so yeah, so you have to find somewhere in case this model option should be there. Image has to be turned on. Like I showed you in your app also, ChatGPT, turn the image function on. So in case if you're using other things, you use some higher end model. Either go to GPT-4 or some which model that was exactly selected. That model may not have it.
Okay, okay. And I have to
Just
switch on that image generation also, you
yeah,
said.
that has to be on. Then only the image quality will be better. Else that if you recall those arbitrarily just rough work images will come. That will not look good. Even
So
if they come. Even
could you
if they
please
come,
show it
those
again? Could you please show that again? I think I missed on that part. Where is that? If you could please show me
just
once.
so what happens is because if you keep everything on, it is the system becomes slow. So it the free version, this tools, you will have to find this kind of
Okay. All right.
option and then
All
create an
right.
image, search the web, write a
Got
code.
it. Got it, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Similarly, for me also.
Thank you so much,
So
sir.
okay, so this was question refinement. This I've done. Hmm. This was the other way around to get the improved prompt. If you do not want those who are asking, just read this. There's no point. This example two of mixing the prompt, that question refinement and fluid interaction. That I want an image of a mountain and then ask me enough questions till you have information to give me an improved prompt. So this is just like telling, I want you to improve the prompt, but question refinement, I am mixing with fluid interaction. Do not use your general knowledge. Okay. Still the prompt will be improving. You can say that the fluid interaction pattern will work in itself, but what is going to happen is, uh, you are saying give me the revised prompt, basically you are asking question refinement. If you are just interacting with the goal, then it's still interaction with solidity. If you give that I want an image of a mountain and ask me enough questions and generate the image and stop, that is only the flip interaction. But if I just want to write over here, then write the prompt to me generate. And if I stop, then if I say write the revised prompt and gives me the prompt, then it becomes question refinement. That prompt you can store and save anywhere what that you want to do. One more thing, okay? One more thing that you can do is suppose you got an answer by luck. It can happen that you went and using the same image example only. Let me this time I do suppose I thought I say, oh, sorry, something that happened there. I want an image of a mountain. This should not get open. So suppose this example was generated by luck. Whatever images come. Suppose this let the image come, whatever it is generating. Hmm. So one thing is what Mr. Parnin was trying to say, that some seed number, but that didn't work. But if you want to have an image that is very close to this next time to be generated, because the moment if I do not save this, this image will not be stored, and the next time as I say regenerate, this image is unlikely to get generated in the same. So what I can say is now to get the same or same slash similar image next time, tell me the prompt to write. You do not know the prompt, but you can ask GPT to tell the prompt to write to generate similar kind of image. Then you can get the prompt out. Now you see, basically to generate this image, it is saying, please create an image of a scenic mountain landscape featuring a lush green meadow in the foreground with evergreen trees and valleys surrounded. The background should include jagged mountain peaks, so and so. So to just check, so exact image may not come, but is using this prompt with a close approximation or not. I'm just copying it, executing it. Reasonable close enough image. Reasonable close enough image. Reasonable close enough. This is a way you can control me. If you're not sure, just ask, give me the prompt back. Sometimes it happens that by multiple interactions, you get the output, then you are confused the next time how I will execute. So once the task is completed, you can prompt it back that please give me the prompt to get this task done in one go. So such kind of interaction, and you can save it. And the next time you can just copy paste it and execute the task. This is one way. See, this image is very close to this one. Not exactly the same that I know, but if I just redo this task without telling, this image will be remarkably different. Without using the same prompt, this image is likely to be very remarkably different. So any doubt in this while the image is getting generated? Else the first block is completed, and now I'm moving to day 2, the role play pattern. Now you see this image is totally completely different. This is a way you can control. Samarpita ji, so image is not copyrighted, but any chat GPT image you are free to use without any copyright issues. Any chat GPT image you are free to use. There's no copyright issues with chat GPT images. And can you use this created image in research paper? In that case, you just mentioned that this image was created using AI. That's not an issue. You can always use AI generated images at least. And I have kept this analysis. If I get time today or somewhere down the line, you can draw a line chart and all also if the model allows. The model allows, it will give you a good image. I executed in my model, it gave me without any hallucinations or without any errors. This table was generated for the data analysis part. I hope the instructor discusses it tomorrow. Else, when I come back, I will execute this prompt. The image I generated today using this simple table was perfect without any spelling mistakes. Samsung was Samsung, Apple was Apple, Oppo was Oppo. But this is for the next day. So now I don't need this. I can straight away use the main complete window and I start a new chat. So coming to the next pattern that is on the outline, that's the role play pattern. Role play pattern, the example, the best way to learn the the basic function of role play pattern is that you tell GPT to take one of the roles, that you behave as this manner, and I will behave the other party. Okay, this is a role play. Contextual statement is here. So you will tell that let's simulate a scenario, and you will play the role of Y, and I will play the role of Z, and then we can have an interaction. This is helpful because this was a student come general the target audience was that, but it doesn't matter if you're a student or if you're a professor. It helps a lot to train yourself for certain kind of interactions. Suppose you are going for a job interview and you want to say have a practice. You can define that. You can tell the context that I'm going for a job interview and those interviews that, and you tell that I want to practice. I want to practice the like an interview process. So you tell that the GPT either to act as an interview or the interviewer, and then you will take the second role, and based on that interaction it can also give the response. So this is a common example. I would request you to go to the sample sheet, example sheet that I've given you, and this is a very common example of salary negotiation happens. It doesn't matter if you're a student, if you're a faculty member. Most of the private institutions that are there, or the job sector, the salaries are not fixed. Government institution, they have a fixed pay scale, but private institution is all behind the scene negotiations takes place. So just copy this and take 2 minutes to have an interaction. Once you execute this prompt, go to the docs file that is there with you, the bigger docs file uh, that is there. I'm referring to this 24 prompt patterns examples. Scroll down where role play simulation pattern example is given. Just copy this. You can change the salary figures in case your salary says that 14 lakhs, 15 lakhs, and make sure that the second value is higher because you always want to negotiate more. You do not want to negotiate less. Just say that I want to negotiate this and let the interaction happen. Okay. If you want to change this, just edit it that you are not the marketing coordinator, but you are a professor or whatever role you have. And just take 2 minutes and practice it and let me know if you have any doubts. And meanwhile, I have to change my earphone, so I will take a minute. Okay. I hope I am audible again. Here, statistics, I confirm that I'm audible. Yeah, thank you. So this what I wanted to do is just open this complete document of the prompt patterns. Installing. So this was a prompt. You just needed to copy it from the document, copy Control C, Control V to your GPT suite, and whatever salary you want to change, you put that change, and once you execute, the interaction will start happening, the role play. So as you answer, it will give you your chance. Then based on your response, it will become adaptive and give you a follow-up questions. Okay. And at any moment, once you get tired, you can say, stop this interaction and give me the feedback. It will give you the feedback. So this is one of the ways in which practically learning, those who are faculty members or even if those who are industry professionals, not only using those for your personal training, you can use without spending money on those trainers, HR trainers that you get while preparing the students for your interviews for the companies. You can tell that because GPT has legitimate, illegitimate is not a point of concern, but it has trained on, let us say, most of the HR data that is there. So if you say that these kind of banking firms are coming, or this is the names of the firms that are coming, and assume that you represent the recruiter from that firm, and I am the student who is appearing. Please ask me questions, and based on the response, please give me feedback. So that will save lot of costs from getting a professional trainers, and also students will learn more while having adaptive questions as well as adapted in the context in which the future interview will happen. And now somebody can say that, yeah, for smaller organization entities, the data may not be there and it may not be accurate. That's fine. But some training will happen, and for wide or well-known entities, the data will be there somewhere. The GPT will be able to pull in the data. So as education institutions will adapt, this is one of the ways in which this role play pattern will help you till you get your custom GPTs built in. Yes, Charles.
Professor, I have a question actually. The thing is like, say for example, one of my customer, he works from an army background. He's based out of US. Okay. The way how our interaction happens during the project is that he expects me to join the meeting 5 minutes before the meeting. Also, during the meeting, he wants us to provide the agenda in a particular manner. So, is it possible that I can train this model that kind of like behave like a strict client from army background?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
You can do just amend this, try the similar statements, and also if you is already told it is from the international market, you can always tell that this person is coming from that background,
okay. So
and
it's
then
kind of a persona training, right, Professor?
so yeah, you are mixing that. You are telling not the persona. It is basically a role play. Persona, basic. Okay, good question. People ask me on a longer workshop, what's the difference between a persona and role play? Nobody asks us a good question. Persona is like a one time. Assume as you are a healthcare professional, tell me about India. Assume you are a lawyer, tell me about India, and it stops. Role play, you go, I go, you go, I go, you go, I go, till I say this instruction has to be end. So this becomes a role play.
Professor, sorry, one more question. How to kind of make sure that how to make this role play every time? Do I need to do a prompt that?
Yeah. If you have a pro version, I do not have a pro version of GPT. If those who are having a pro version of GPT, they will have an option of this custom GPT.
Yes.
You can if you are having, you can write those prompts, and then you can just click over there, and every time you come back, it will resume. But right now I don't have, so those people don't have. Again, the same thing. Either you spend more money, or you can just save that chunk of prompt in your Word doc, and next time you want to do the same exercise, just copy, paste, enter, and this thing will resume.
Got it, Professor. Thank you so much.
So this was about role play, and in case you are doing any other difficulty, just let me know. But that was the role play, and if there's no difficulty, I will move to the most important one, because the time is started running. I will go to cognitive verifier first. I'm just marking it on my paper what I have covered, but I would like to do the cognitive verifier after role play, because you will get slightly confused also when I say cognitive verifier. Like Charles helped us in understanding. It skipped my mind because nobody was asking. It looks
So,
like a personal thing.
for
Yeah,
this role play, what
yeah.
if the GPT gets to the end? and you don't want it to get to the end. Like for the prompts that you have given us,
Mhm.
I gave like 3 or 4 prompts. After that, it started giving me feedback on what I have done well after 3 prompts itself. So
Did you specify any number of questions, or by mistake, did the number of questions went into it, or your language went somewhere?
no, sir.
Generally it doesn't happen. Generally it doesn't happen.
Okay.
Because the way I used to miss the other party quits. As a responder, you will get tired and you will say, "I'm done." Maybe the way you have responded, somewhere it has hinted that you have nothing. The cheat sheet is there that if you want to negotiate more, tell GPT that you have some more skills that were not on the resume. Then you start to negotiate in the interaction builds. But if it may happen that within the whatever 2 3 line interactions you are not sounding interesting enough. That GPT concluded that there is nothing that I do not know about this person, so there is no merit, and then it would have given the response.
Okay.
So it's not always you will win, it's not always you will lose. It is based upon how you are interacting with it.
All right. So we can like I'm just out of curiosity. I'm asking you like before we submit a paper, research paper, we can ask GPT to look at it like a
Okay.
editor or a reviewer.
So don't use GPT for that. That will be unethical. There are two things that you can use. Just give me a second. One is if you one is the people. Some people may be aware with it. That is Notebook LLM by Google. Okay. So uh, once you use this site, go to this Notebook LM. There are a couple of things that helps. Just you have to click over here, Notebook LM, and the thing is, if you use any document in GPT, those who are having students account, if of any institute, I will ask you to just switch over. It will give you a couple of more features for free. If you are having access to any of the edu accounts or AC account that are education based, it will give you Notebook LM versus Chat GPT. See, Chat GPT, if you give your paper, its information is not limited to that paper. It will go and whatever it has learned, the response will be a aggregate of what it has learned. If you use Notebook LM, suppose you have only one paper. Okay, so randomly, let us say, I want to have some YouTube video. It is telling, right? So randomly, I'm just picking this video. What it can do is, I need the URL for this. So what I do, if you put anything within this notebook, whatever sources you add, you can add around the latest. I guess you can add 300 things over here till the best amount of knowledge, good amount of time. Like till last week, it was only 50, but recently I come to know they will allow up to 300 documents. You can add Google Docs, Google Slides, PDF documents. You can add. This is certain limitations. But what will happen is once you start interacting within GPT environment, the outputs will be based only on the information it has learned from the links that you have added. It will not add anything outside. वर्ड व्यू नहीं आएगा उसमें. ठीक है. So AI reasoning. So this it is summarizing me this video. Can AI think debunking AI limitations? By default, it has given me that there's only one source right now. If I keep on adding 2 sources, randomly picking any other video, randomly just let me put some other video. No idea what this video is all about. But what I'm doing is I'm adding a resource and it's another YouTube video. I just pasting the YouTube link. I say insert. It is pulling that information. And now when I start interacting, the output will be limited to only the knowledge it has learned from those videos. Then whatever documents you keep on adding, so that is the one way to interact. Okay, and nothing goes outside. Other and what jot out for research paper was there's a site called Fisify. This site claims with at least promises. Uh, Somewhere it will be there that your documents are not going outside or not to train the model. So it is here. So thesis is anyone who wants to elevate their academic writing. It will not write the paper for you, but it is a very good critique. So whether you are a student or PhD candidate academic paper, thesis has already covered the powerful to early career researcher. So you can always critique your paper. And also, I want to where they are having a disclaimer. If they can do all this task, yeah, this is their disclaimer. So are not available. Your document that you upload are not available to other customers. Are not available on OpenAI. They are not used to improve the model or third party. So whatever you interact, it remains over here. So rather than putting your paper or paper you get to review on ChatGPT, with those journals are very hard bound that paper should not be reviewed, but behind the scenes people try to do that. But at least this is the way not to put some other academic work at stake. Your own paper, some other person's. This is the thing. And this is even if you go to the paid version, it is very affordable. It is just like 3,000 rupees per year. This is not the very costly.
Thank you so much.
Justify the site. But I would like you to, if I get time, I will go devote more time to Notebook. It is a very good site. Actually, it's a very good thing. And very quick thing, if it allows me, this mind map feature automatically based on the two sources or the information that it has, it will generate the mind map, and that it becomes based on two sources that the mind map comes. Open. Yeah. So based on the two resources, it has created a mind map, and both the information gets integrated. Devote some time. It is a very good tool. It's a very good tool. You will hardly take 15 to 20 minutes to learn this, but you will enjoy this much more. And then again, telling the beauty is that it will not take outside knowledge. So nothing nonsense will creep in. All the interaction will happen within the knowledge it has. And if it doesn't know the information, it will not hallucinate. It will tell you, I do not know this information. That information is not there within the sources you have specified. Either you give me the source or I cannot. So that is the thing. Coming back, cognitive verifier pattern. Yeah. Cognitive verifier pattern is used when you have supplied some information. Okay. It is like in the previous workshop I used to say it is like a safety net. You have supplied some information, but you want to make sure that the output is perfect or very near to perfect. You have a doubt that I may have not written this, but you know that you have given so much of the things. Okay. So using the same article example, this time I will say, demonstrated, I want to write an article on digital marketing. It should be of 750 words and related to India. Now, let us say I think that I supplied enough information. I wanted to write an article on digital marketing, and I want number of words I have specified, and I also specified it should be related to India. This is what I can recall from while I was asking the active interaction pattern. That these three things. This information may be enough, may not be enough to write the article. Okay. For the safety net purpose, what I can do is I can add. If you need more information, ask me one question at a time before executing the task. Writing this a small statement gives you a safety net in case you do not, in case there is some information that GPT is expected. If wish that this user has specified to me, I would have made it a better response. Okay. Then GPT can ask you back. This is like a film interaction, but in film interaction, what you do, you just set a broad goal. Okay, you were not sure at all. Here in the cognitive verifier, you are cognitively try to check that I have done good thing, but in case maybe something I have not stored, answered, Then it can ask you if GPT thinks that you have answered everything, it can, without asking you back, it will execute the response. It's just like a safety net. Let's do this task. Okay. So for it, GPT thinks like digital marketing in India is fine, but could you specify which aspects of digital marketing you want to focus? Okay, I didn't think about that because in the previous it didn't ask me that would you want to trend strategies, challenges, something. I forgot, but now you see the safety net is working for me. Okay, if I remove this safety net and I start a new chat and I just without writing this, okay, so title this and that, introduction, here's a structured outline. It is not asking me a question, it's giving me outline, and this is how it will generate. So this challenges this. Here's a draft, and this is the article that is trying to generate. It is keep on generating. See, it never asked me. This is the way, the reason cognitive verifier is don't focus on the names. Don't get that this is a fancy name. Focus on what the thing that you done by this name. That you can add a safety net by just writing a small statement. If you need clarification or if you have any questions, if you have any doubts, ask me one question at a time. Again, one question at a time because it is very painful to answer 4 5 questions at one go. If you forget, it will give you whatever questions you want to ask in one go. It's no harm. Only you have to be patient enough to answer each question patiently. That's the difference, and that is how the cognitive verifier pattern works. So right now, I do not want to go to the sites because that will take some amount of time. But if you have doubt, you can ask me. Authenticity of the content. Dr. Swami Das is asking, sir, in which context, which authenticity are you asking? Notebook LM or this context? Which authenticity of the content? Dr. Swami, I think because it's 8:11. Yeah. So this is a very good question. As I mentioned that there are some patterns I have not told. One is just a fancy name, fact checklist pattern. That is the forget the thing. The thing that you can do is authenticity. How I can verify that this thing is not an hallucinated text. Okay. So what I can do is tell me the facts that I need to check to ensure the veracity of the response. You have just given. So it has somewhere in the text that it has generated by the article, it has made written something about like the number of current internet users in India, e-commerce growth in India. So the thing is, whatever knowledge it has, yeah, in advanced prompt engineering, like in the day 4, I discussed like prompt poisoning and all. That is not part of this workshop. But what can happen is, think that somebody has intentionally given it some data that was not true. Okay, that is called prompt poisoning. Okay. So you have poisoned the data while it was training. You have given false data. The output it is getting generated is based or let us say on the assortments of chicken assortment of the text it has got trained. So how can you make sure? To make sure, you just write, tell me the fact that I need to check. So then it says that I have made certain assumptions that current internet users in India, e-commerce growth in India, and so on and so forth, whichever facts, please check. So you will take this document, see if it's whatever value it has quoted, it's actually true or not. You should not take GPT as a source of truth. This is not a Google. It is giving you the responses based on the data it has for supplies to it. If the data was not correct, the response will not be correct. But at least writing this one line, tell me the facts that I need to check to ensure the veracity of the response you have just given, will allow you for having any major goof ups. You can manually go and verify. Before moving to the second query, I hope Dr. Swami's answer is query is answered. Okay. Coming to Samarthitaji's, what if the content was generated and then I give the prompt that you have written in case you have question, ask me. No, ma'am. Once the output is generated, or you complete it, and if you have any queries, and then regenerate the output. So this is half the answer. Because once the output is already there, and then there is no point if you have any questions. Either you say redo the task, but if you have any questions, ask me before, one by one. Okay. So Amrisha ji is asking, what should be the prompt for a role play activity inside the classroom and activity? So can you define what kind of activity you want to do? One kind of example I have given you in HR classes if you want to train the students. So that can be a role play exercise that you become the HR person, this is the candidate. Other example was there in my slide for salary negotiations. That is not for a class, it's a general everyday, any person, private, industry, academician, non-academician, salary negotiations happen everywhere. So you can use the role play exercise for that. So role play is nothing but you have to tell that GPT, you take the role of this person, I will take the role of this person, and we will have an interaction. And then based on my interaction, you can give me a feedback how my responses were. Also, yes, you can add a simple line. Tell me the strategy to improve. Give me the when you are giving the feedback, you give me the maybe a plan to improve. So it will give you a plan also. Actually, if you're down, you're typing, or you can come on mic so that I can understand that your queries. So
Sir, sorry for the interruption. In this role play activity, actually, I wanted to know. Sometime it happened that it's a kind of the group exercise. It happened. So how it could be possible through Chat GPT to do that? Because I think what you are explaining here, it's a one-to-one interaction.
okay, so ma'am, what you can do is if you are having only the students interact, let us say one of the ways you can do is uh, uh, you make open a Google chat, group chat, WhatsApp chat, make a Google WhatsApp group. This is the way I used to do. You can take chat GPT out of the picture, you give the roles to the students, right? The student behave as a CEO, and this is the exercise that used to happen, right? In a class, multiple roles are taken by the students. But rather than either you can voice record it, that will be slightly challenging. The best way is you open a WhatsApp chat or any group chat and let the students interact on that chat. Okay. Once that chat is done, copy the complete chat, dump it on GPT, and tell that this is the whole role play exercise that I have done. And GPT, please review this and give feedback on how each candidate has done. And then you can specify 100 words, 200 words, or give the strategies to improve for each student. Because once you're pasting it from a WhatsApp, it will have that name, same name for each person, so it will identify. So suppose Achint was a CEO, Ishwar was some deputy director, so on and so forth. All the roles it will identify. You just need to tell that this person was having this role, this person was having that role, and then it will analyze and give it to you.
Yes, yes, I got it, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so this is done. Cognitive verifier, I use it every day. Even if I don't know, this should become a second nature for you to get more better outputs. Cognitive verifier, again, if you have any doubts, please ask me one question at a time. If over a period of time, after 5, 6, 7, 8 months, or I should not say a time, but it will happen that you will understand. Because we are not people who are in the software industry, we are academicians or professionals. So our task somewhere down the line has their boundary conditions. Slide, making a slide, making MCQs, making subjective questions, or uh, let us say our requirements from ChatGPT are limited. So once I'm doing the repeat task, So next time I'm making a slide, next time I'm making an image, next time I'm making a MCQ question, I know the errors that I created the last time while giving the prompt. And based on the cognitive verifier, it took me those two, three more information from me. Now I know what those two, three information was there, so I can always add beforehand because I know it will ask me again. So rather than wasting time, I supply those information beforehand, and so I will improve, and also my time will be saved. But still, writing this statement, if you have any doubts, ask me one question at a time. If you need any clarifications, ask me one question at a time. It's a very good safety net to have. Any doubts with cognitive verifier? I'm putting a tick over here. So now, if there's no doubt, I will quickly first go with the easiest one, expansion, summarization, synthesis. But any doubt, let me know. But most of us are familiar with it. But I will complete the fact checklist. There's a bonus one, expansion, summarization, and synthesis. Anytime you want to take a report, please use the fact checklist. Ask on what things I need to check. So GPT will list you, these are the needs things to check because I'm assuming that this report has been generated based on this information. But I'm not sure this report is right or wrong. Please check. So I'm beginning with the expansion, summarization, and synthesis. So expansion is when you give a small bullet points. If you give that's a content transformation slide. Synthesis, I will have to use examples from the slide only. That will make my task easy. So the expansion pattern, what happens is you have a course outline, or you have some bullet points, and now you want to have more text to it. This is because we are already discussing mixing of the patterns. We have discussed this template pattern also earlier. So you can say that these are the bullet points and give me the output in this structure. So expansion just expands those bullet points, adds their content into it. So I will use the examples that is there only, or we can make example over here. There is my GPT screen. There it is. So I will start a new chat. So if you want to add a bullet point, that is Alt 7. Alt 7 will come the dot. ALT alternate 7 button. And just writing some 2-3 bullet points on two-wheeler sector in India, and then I will ask GPT to expand. Two-wheeler sector in India, because I don't know the stats, so I will not use any numerical work from my side. I will just write two-wheeler sector in India is booming. Again, an Alt 7. Electric two-wheeler market is a hit. Success. Yep. Multi-fold growth. Please try to understand. It will never. It is unlikely to be counter to what I say, even if the two-wheeler sector is not witnessing a proper growth. But because I have supplied this bullet point, it will expand on this point only for now. If I say that we take the contrary view and check, it may have some, it may argue or try to argue me. But right now, the way the report is getting generated, there are always a positive point. It will add more positive to it. Okay, once it expands. So I'll just add any random third point. To separate the bullet points from the prompt that I want to pass. So that's part of the prompt, but to make sure that it doesn't get executed, you can add these dash lines and again break the line. Now I will say now using these bullet points, give me a comprehensive report in 500 words, and I'm pasting it for your help on your chat screen also, so that in case just when I have not added anything right now. I have not added any cognitive verifier. I have not added ask me questions, so it will straight away go and generate the report. Please don't take any statistics given in this as a truth. It can be truth, it can be false, but it is just confirming what I want to know. Try to understand that. Okay. It may be true, it may be not be true. That is not the place to ask for. The two-wheeler sector in India is booming, so it is says unprecedented growth in recent years. Truth, false, nobody knows. At GPT doesn't know. We know that it is slightly stagnant right now. Growth of electric two-wheeler market, it is just reinforcing what I want to say, and then there is so much text over to it. No idea if it's true or false in rural sector, but it is still supporting my point. That's why when students use this, it always what they want to know about or they want to confirm, and they don't understand this that this is a limitation for it. Most people don't understand, not even the student. Most people don't understand that what the text is coming out of that. It is always pro user. That's the word to use. It's always a pro user who is, and then because at the end, just for letting know that I'm taking contradictory view, it has given set some things as a challenges, but again, the final portion will be in my support. Any doubts in the expansion pattern? Again, repeating, please don't take it as a source of truth. Don't take it as a source of truth. So those are academicians generally can be used for any content expansion points. If you have certain bullet points, you can put it and ask it to expand. That takes care of your expansion pattern. Now, two terms that looks when I explain will look slightly confusing, but summarization and synthesis. The reason they are giving it back to back is because they tend to confuse. Summarization is when you use a single document, summary of a single document. But if you want to bring multiple viewpoints into a single document or in a single output, then it is called synthesis. That take the news from here also, take this viewpoint also, take that viewpoint also, and then give me an overall viewpoint. That is synthesis. But if you just give a single document and say that generate a summary, that is called summarization. So we will just simply use any URL from any news channel to create generative summary, any news that I can get. Just so whatever news is here, I'm going to do this as I'm going back. I'm just also giving a URL so that we have the same link. So I will come back and I will say, give me the summary from the following link. So it will go and see this. Now it has added in additional information also, right? Compared to if I go, I have done this, you see, it has searched 9 sites, but I have given only one link, only live link. But if I have went only to, I have executed this task in Notebook LM, it would have not done this. It would not have referred the new thing. I can add over here only. And if I say website, paste the URL, I say insert. And in the Notebook LM, you can uncheck. If you do not need to delete it. If you do not want to mention some resources, you can uncheck it. Now when you only the information that will be generated in Notebook LM will be from the resources that are selected. Don't need to delete it. You can make your combinations. Right now, if I say, give me the summary of the selected things. This is the Israel. It will show you that wherever it is going. These are the statements that it has picked up from the website only. It is not going outside that website. All news you can match somewhere. It will have those text mentioned because it's a real feed. Some things has been coming. It has scanned everything. But on this URL, that is why this Notebook LM versus ChatGPT. That's the advantage that if you want to keep yourself limited to one source or do not want other information to creep in, use Notebook LM. ChatGPT or any other LLM will use other information. See, by default, it is showing it has went without asking me. Also, it has went to CNN. It has went to some other websites also. At least it has remained on the idea that was running of the Israel-Iran conflict. But if you want only one link, use Notebook LM. To show how the synthesis does, what I'm going to do, I will going to give it 3 different URLs of 3 different news, and then I will tell that these are the recent newses. Give me a synthesis on this. So if you have different sources and if you want to compile the viewpoints, I'm going to the GPT. I just take one is the same URL that I will use. That one. This, then any random example. I hope it runs because it is not something. I hope. Let me see if it runs the error. I will change it. Yes, it has because the URL was not coming. I need to click it. I need to click the exact URL. I was having that in my behind my mind. The problem it has run, it is giving me only Iran. Iran report is that if you see the URLs were not proper URL, it was just Google News read. So that was not getting redirected. I need to rerun this. and let it just go to the actual URLs. Then it will start running. All 7 is the first URL. Just giving some spaces. Install Times News. This is the news. Now it will run. Those who are following, here is the complete prompt. Now you see it has gone and it has given you one document, but it has used all the 3 things that I've given. I pasted it on your screen also. Access the URL and give me the report. What we are doing. Couple of things can happen. Not even only in this case, but once you specify the word count, sometimes when I say that write a case in 1500 words, it stops at 900 words also. Then the language matters. If you say in about 1500 words, it doesn't mean it will be 1500. It will say, okay, 1000 words is fine. If you say at least 1500 words, then at least it will try to reach 1500. Then this is where the English becomes critical. Spelling mistakes are fine, but if you say in about, then it will say 900 is also fine, 1200 is also fine. But if you say at least, then it is you are giving it a constraint. At least I have to generate these many words. Any doubt for expansion, summarization, or synthesis?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Actually, I just wanted to request you if you can give me some more examples of synthesis in context of some kind of meetings, like business meetings. So,
Sir, this is a document that is already there with you. I go open this, and you will see. Let me scroll it to the summarization. So you ask summarization or synthesis? Synthesis?
synthesis, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you just scroll it over here. This document is already there with you. Business examples, the complete document is there. You can use, if you're having some PDFs also, you can use those PDFs also, but certain examples which are small enough, they are there with you. You can just copy paste it and run this. That these are the some information given to you, synthesize the information.
Sir, just wanted to update to my knowledge. Like synthesis is basically meant to synthesize the things. If I'm not wrong, right?
Summarization, one document summary. Synthesis is multiple documents, a viewpoint coming into one output.
Right, sir. Right. Thank you.
So there are lots of examples in the document that is specified, but again, same thing. Like 4 days content, I have cramping it into 2 days because there is some new content that will start from tomorrow that was never part of my workshop, quantitative analysis and other things that we have brought. So that's why I reduced it. People gave feedback that 10 days is a too long time, and then if I extended it after 9 to 9:30, people left. Like suddenly it was dinner time, and then it was difficult. So it was better to I sit it towards in one go versus giving 7 to 8, then 15 minutes break, then restarting. So slightly change in time, and that's a less of slide support and more of straight away demonstration part is happening over here. Any other doubt? Yeah, this or this. If there is no doubt with it, I will discuss some related, but there is a document. Pattern descriptions for here. Yes. With the key, like bread and butter prompts are done, which are very important and doesn't matter which domain you are in. These prompts patterns will help you throughout. So if there's doubt, please ask me. Else, I will discuss a couple of more prompt patterns. But if there is any doubt, yesterday's works, today's works, if there's any doubt. Else, the agenda is to have the discussion on reflection patterns.
Sir, in your framework, you have shown like many of the patterns. So is that all are covered here?
No, sir. You see your outline. You see that I have supplied to you as that was promised as part of this workshop. In this, in the start also, my PPT already had a disclaimer that only we will be seeing 15 patterns approximately. This was a
Okay.
disclaimer I gave beforehand, agenda
Okay.
wherever it was. So
Okay.
I was not able. 24 patterns, sir, is a 4-day workshop I used to take. 4-day workshops and exercises. Couple of things I've worked out to make space for data analytics and those kind of stuff, marketing, those content
So these
analytics.
were like the most important out of those.
These are the things, irrespective of the way any domain you use. These are the most generic ones that will help you irrespective of your role. Day-to-day requirements to have efficient outputs generated from the GPT. These, whatever 12, 13 patterns I was able to cover, irrespective of your profile. If you learn these, at least, let us say, 80% of the hallucinations will go away. 20% will come with mastery, that I know, but 80%, 85% of your work will become smooth.
Right, sir. Thank you.
So we still have a few minutes left. So I will, because these two patterns were also promised. So I will cover these two, and then we will have some discussions if you want to have, or maybe notebook LM if you want to see something over there. We can go back. So the reflection pattern, I would want you to read because it will be slightly confusing for you if I explain it verbally. First, read it, then we will have a discussion on this. Just read a description of reflection pattern. Once I discuss 20, this pattern should confuse a person with chain of thought. जो भी chain of thought supporters थे, this pattern should confuse. The basic beauty is you should get confused. Don't think confusion is harmful in this. You should get confused and ask me questions. Then only I will be able to answer. I forgot that, yeah, persona and role play people used to confuse. In the previous workshops, people do ask, what is the thing? It is one and the same thing. Then I recall, no, I have to clarify. So you should ask that it's confused. This reflection pattern, as you read the text, it should confuse you. Isn't this chain of thought? So reflection pattern is asking GPT to critique its own response. What that response was good, what response was bad. One more thing I want to add. Which prompts are with a real-time realistic case study? With real-time, I'm always discussing my own usage. What other realistic case study you want to have? I'm taking the URLs also from real life to incorporate. Pramodji, what do you want to have? Okay. Till Pramodji tries to answer, let me complete what I was saying. For creating a case study, sir, that was a part of my FDP and that was never promised to you. For creating a case study was never part of this. Basically, the target audience for this workshop was students and working professionals. And though you people have come, so creating a case study, then you have to discuss among your group in the WhatsApp, and then you have to tell me what I can check it out. I'm not saying I cannot do it. I can do it, but that is like a full 1 hour, at least. Sorry, full 2 hour sessions. So that I cannot do it with what I have promised. You discuss within the WhatsApp group and then tell me. Because for me, let us see, writing a case study is a 15 minutes job, but then people will not understand. And to make the people understand, something has to check out. But that I do not want to do it from my side. If the group agrees, you guys agree, then I will do. Okay? But I cannot. But I will not go into that. Coming to this point of reflection pattern. Huh. So what I was saying is asking a GPT to critique its own response. Where I was going to is, even if in your GPT, let me see if it has that option. Yeah, it has this option. So if you see in your free version, also think for long. So the GPT is another one thing. It's first thing I've already told you, it never asks you back. The second thing is it is very in a rush that the moment you have given the prompt enter, it is like in a rush to give you an output. Look, this. This option that you are seeing, think for longer. Okay. Earlier it was not there. We have to write miss if you wanted to say na think uh, uh, earlier versions, then this think for longer think versions are not there. And if you want the GPT to create it, just think what you are trying to give a response. And if you go to the net, you will find that the think models are giving a better response because they use their time to reflect what they are going to generate versus the earlier versions, the non-think models, where the moment you press enter, they want to generate the output. Then that output is not that good. You can read it, but this using the reflection pattern, you can ask the GPT to critique that same output that it has generated. Okay. So you can simply say, and using the current example only, where it's my screen, whatever it has generated, I just let it be to use on this output only. The reflection pattern. I will just write that for the response you have just generated, reflect its just short strength, weaknesses, and scope of improvement. So this is news article, but any document that you generate, anything output, you can always ask that it reflect. It is not chain of thought. Chain of thought was to tell how it arrived at that response. Reflection pattern is given the response has been generated, what is good about that response, what is bad about that response, what can be improved to this, make this response better. Is this thing making sense? The reinforcement learning is when you give rewards. You tell this is right, this is wrong. My audience will get confused on day 2 if I go it everywhere. Shekhar sir is taking me all the technical side, and my audience will try to hit me if they have seen me in person. So reinforcement learning is when you give rewards. Is this answer right or wrong? You are not giving that. Thinking is just like giving it time to, and not to take it otherwise. Shekhar sir, it has backfired to me not in workshop, in class. That some there was a I teach healthcare marketing. I told you. So there was one very decorated army person also in that workshop, and not in that class. In my class, he is there, and his questions were of different level. His experience was so immense, and like all the 99 doctors here, and his experience of all the war, his examples were all the war levels, this and that. He has fought in some um, this no, no JNK, okay stuff. So his students wrote that the moment he asked, it's like 15 minutes. We have no clue what is happening. So just like your interactions for the day reminded me of him. So anyhow, coming back, so scope of improvement. So this and that, that's fine. So you see, it has given me its strength that this is concise, this is structured, this has relevance. Then it has given me its weaknesses also, lack of depth, limited analysis, this and that. It says that this is a scope of improvement. So any document you get, you can ask that this is the context, incorporate analysis, this and that, to use the same scope improvement. You can just write now using these insights, give me a better output. GPT, you ask GPT to reflect on this, its own response, and then the output that is get generated, you can say now use this insight that you have generated to improve the previous output. So it is like a continuous improvement. It helps, especially because this example I case study, right. So I use this. A first draft of the case study, once it gets generated, it's not that perfect. Some loopholes are always left behind. It can happen that currency in the introduction part is INR, and in some tables it is generated in dollars, or some values are not matching, they are not consistent enough. Some because as the case length increases, or the document length increases to be neutral, it will start forgetting the text it has generated just above. So suppose your protagonist or the person of interest was Dr. Sharma. While it is writing the conclusion, it may become Dr. Verma. So this uh, reflection or this rechecking allows second attempt, third attempt, fourth attempt to improve the response, rather than you doing the manual labor work, or you feel the heat of if without checking this document. Either you can manually check, or you are ask GPT to check to for consistency. So that is why the reflection pattern is important to turn on. Context, answer the reasoning, assumptions, strengths, weaknesses. This is what you reflect. Assumptions you can also ask. I didn't ask. In case that, if you remember this electricity report that I got generated, electric vehicle report, I can ask what are the assumptions you have generated. Fact checklist, that is one thing that I need to check, but it can also assume something. So what are the assumptions? It can list the assumptions also. And then the last one, if there's no doubt, let me know. 5 minutes are left. I can just quickly touch upon team collaboration, because this is nothing special to it, but slightly less relevant given the participant demographic I am having right now in the workshop. That's the last one that I was promised. Every other thing is covered, and a couple of more things I already also covered. That checklist was not there, but if there's doubt, Shekhar sir, slides are so much over the place, it will make no sense to anyone, because it is structured for some other purposes. I'm just using it bit by bit piece. And this context statement slide, the text you are seeing is here. Where is that? I've not added. I will add that document over here only. Context statement is this contextual statement. That document I will add it over. I'm just referring to slides for these contextual statements only. There's no point. You see the number of slides, 124 slides can never be done in a comfortable manner in 4 hours. So that was why I will not refer to those slides. I will make it an interactive. So coming to the last one, team collaboration. Simply telling team collaboration is nothing much other than asking, like in a group project, if you do, it will ask to assign roles and to keep things accountability. It is just like generating a task. If there are multiple team members, if you want to designate a task, so it will facilitate coordinated prompt development across multiple stakeholders, or the exercise if you want to develop. It will allot the roles. If you tell there are 5 persons and how the feedback or how the team will go, it will make the task smoother. The output will demarcate that this person will then do like a blueprint of the task to be generated. That is how team collaboration pattern helps. That coordinated prompt development across multiple stakeholders with diverse expertise. You said that there's an HR person also, there's an operations guy also, and you are not sure how to assign which person should do the task first and which will do the task next. So this pattern will help you to do that. So in case there were many students, I missed the example that I shared in my mind, made in my mind was the faculty give group projects. So group projects have multiple deliverables. So suppose it's a marketing group project, so somebody will write the first report in which the idea approval happens. Somebody will collect the data. Somebody will analyze the data. Somebody will refine the data. Somebody will analyze the data. Somebody will do the software work. Somebody will do the writing part. So how and where accountability to happen. So this is what this team collaboration is used for. It's slightly less helpful right now, but else in case you are using this agentic AI and all, that is not part of this workshop. This is generative AI workshop. There, this team collaboration happens. In case you are building software, or in generative AI also, those who are building uh, shared softwares. So who will write the first part of the code? Who will write the second part of the code? Any activity in which more than one person is involved. How that activity to get executed is the role of team collaboration pattern. Just forget team collaboration pattern. Basically, the output will be who will the first one, who will the second one, who will the third one, and in that manner, output will be generated. That was the least important for the part of this workshop, so I kept it at the end. Even if it got missed, I would have not minded. So overall, this was all the patterns that I had promised and explained. If there's any doubt, please ask. Tomorrow, Dr. Graves will come with Python in Google Colab. So not GPT, you will using generative AI in Google Colab. Those who don't have any coding background, that is also not an issue. Coding will happen with via prompts only. So if you don't know how to code, that's not an issue. Please don't skip. No mandatory requirement to have coding for tomorrow's workshop or even day after. Thank you, everyone. So we are done for the day. In case there's any doubt, I'm here. And else, those people don't have any doubt, please carry forward with your day.